History is being made with every passing moment, and for the sake of our children and our children's children and our children's children's children, I'd like to ask you to do one thing. Keep a journal. Somebody has to record history, and they have to do it accurately. Otherwise, we are going to be doomed to repeat it. And if we pass this responsibility over to the media, we're in real trouble. We're going to be North Korea before we know it. I mean, it's getting crazy, the things that I see in the paper now. I mean, we may already be on our way to Kim Jong-il. Oh, if we could only march like that, too. Our media's fairy tales are really not that much different than what you see over in a communist country. If I may, shall we compare and contrast? North Korean press seriously reported these things to its people. That, one, Kim Jong-il's birth was foretold by a swallow and was celebrated with the appearance of a double rainbow across the sky. And a new Star Wars was added to the heavens to commemorate the occasion. Also, he had a magical, supernatural ability to control the weather based on his mood. They also told the people that whatever he wore set off a global fashion trend, and that's true because, I mean, the very first time that he picked up a golf club, they told the people of North Korea that he shot a 38 under par and had 11 holes in one. That's quite an accomplishment. They also told people that he wrote 1,500 books in 3 years, which still does not break my record. I'm just saying. He composed 6 operas over 2 years. He invented the hamburger, double bread with meat, and he never defecated or urinated, ever. I mean, he should have had that one checked. But it's very clear all of these things are not true, but that's what a communist country tells people about their fearless leader. Are we headed down that path? Obama has been labeled the perfect American who never has done anything wrong. Watch.
This guy's done everything right. He's raised his family right. He's fought his way all the way to the top of the Harvard Law Review. In a blind test, becomes head of the review, the top editor there. Everything he's done is clean as a whistle. He's never not only broken any law, he's never done anything wrong. He's the perfect father, the perfect husband, the perfect American.
And he's never defecated or urinated either. Newsweek said Obama is above the country, above the world, and I'm quoting, sort of a god.
Obama's had really a different task. We're seen too often as the bad guys, and he has a very different job from Reagan. Was all about America, and you talked about it. Obama is, we are above that now. We're not just parochial, we're not just chauvinistic, we're not just provincial. We stand for something. I mean, in a way, Obama's standing above the country, above the world. He's sort of God. He's going to bring all different sides together.
Wow. Okay, Rolling Stone and New York Times and magazine after magazine after magazine has put Obama in the angelic light. Here's the latest that I just absolutely love. It's now being reported that Barack Obama is a direct descendant of the very first African-American slave ever. First American slave. First one. Allegedly, he's the 11th great-grandson of John Punch, a Virginia slave. Historians claim is the first African enslaved in the colonies, which is amazing, isn't it? We would have thought we would have heard that one before. That's incredible, especially that he's connected on his mom's side, his white mom, which I guess could happen, you know, if you're just repeatedly, I don't know, raped by the white slave owner, and that's how you become white. I don't really. Anyway. Michelle Obama also, she was in the news. She received gushing fashion reviews in London as she sported a darn near $7,000 jacket. It was $6,800. Now, here's what the New York Daily News said about this luscious jacket. There it is. Go get out of the way. There it is. Isn't that beautiful? It is magnificent. They said, the New York Daily News said she made the Queen look dowdy, that she even showed up Kate Middleton. Come on. Come on, really? Kate Middleton's hot. I mean, Michelle Obama's not a bad-looking woman, but she's like 48 years old. I mean, nothing wrong with 48-year-old. I mean, please. But Kate Middleton, I don't think so. The Daily News also said that she was flashing, and I'm quoting, her famously toned arms. No critique of the opulence of a $7,000 jacket. Michelle was praised for it. I kid you not. Here's what they said. She's supporting commerce of our nation. It's not wasteful. It's inspiring. It's a New York company selling a product in the U.S. at places like Saks Fifth Avenue. And it helps the tailor and the little dry cleaner on the corner stay in business. Oh, my gosh, let them eat cake. So Michelle feels your pain. But when Ann Romney dressed up, on the other hand, the coverage was slightly different than that. You remember when Ann Romney wore a $990 shirt. The Washington Post, the one who just praised Michelle Obama's $7,000 shirt as fit for a queen, ripped Ann for being out of touch and running a tone-deaf campaign that would haunt the campaign indefinitely. They went into the minds of Americans and they drilled that in, and they speculated. Some might be thinking that $1,000 shirt, she could have spent that $1,000 to help them out on a house payment or buy necessities at Walmart. So if the Washington Post was right there, then there must be 7 Americans thinking that Michelle Obama could help with 7 house payments and 7 trips to Walmart. Is that any more ridiculous than Kim Jong-il inventing the hamburger? No. I mean, it's no surprise, because this is the way press behaves in a communist nation. When no one checks them, when they're in league with the government, this is what happens. And make no mistake, our press is on the road to becoming Pravda. Let me just go over a couple of Pravda stories. Pravda is the media outlet used to prop up dictators like Lenin and Stalin to promote the communist line. They would ignore all fact and spew propaganda. The Soviets actually employed 70,000 full-time staff members to eliminate, quoting, undesirable printed materials. Oh. So is that like book burning? To ensure that the correct ideological spin was put on every published item. Oh. Here's a few examples. On the anniversary of the start of World War II, Pravda praised Joseph Stalin's non-aggression pact with Adolf Hitler, an act that many say started World War II, but Pravda said it was Britain and France and Poland. World War II, just because they had a reactionary conception of anti-communism. You remember when Chernobyl happened? Pravda didn't even issue a report for 2 days. 2 days. It's melting down. People are dying every 2 seconds, and nothing. The only reason why they finally issued a report was because Sweden kept calling Russia going, okay, there's like a giant cloud of death here of radiation, and I'm pretty sure you guys did it. Is our media any different, any better? Or is it just a propaganda arm that is promoting the party line? Let me show you what happened with Janet Napolitano. This woman is amazing. Here she is admitting that terrorists, yes, terrorists, are coming across the border, but only once in a while. Watch.
My question is there any credible evidence that these reports are accurate and that terrorists are in fact crossing our southern border with the intent to do harm to the American people?
With respect, there have been, and the Bob C.R. matter would be one I would refer to that's currently being adjudicated in the criminal courts from time to time, and we are constantly working against different and evolving threats involving various terrorist groups and various ways they may seek to enter the country. What I can tell you, however, is that the southern border, the U.S.-Mexico border, is heavily staffed at record amounts of manpower, material, infrastructure, and the like. And we are constantly making sure we're doing all we can to make that border as safe as possible.
Yeah. Somebody's eating all my brain candy. Makes me sad, but at least I know that our border is completely safe. They're doing all kinds of stuff. If there's any problem, it's the Canadian border. Now, if you remember right, we were told that the Department of Homeland Security is there to keep us safe from what? From another 9/11, right? That's why we had to have it right now. Have to have it. A lot of people are like, no, I don't think we should have this. That sounds like a really bad, spooky department. Nope, have to have it. Otherwise, we're going to have terrorists all over our country. Now they come out and say, yeah, they're coming across the border, but only from time to time. Oh. So I feel totally safe. I mean, from time to time. There's no follow-up from the press. No follow-up when the press says, you know, hey, what about the border? And the president comes out and gives a speech. Border fence? Now it's 5% complete. Well, basically, the border fence is done. Really?
Then they wanted a fence. Well, the fence is now basically complete.
No, it's 5%. No one seemed to mind when the Justice Department abruptly decided to dismiss the voter intimidation case against the Black Panthers, even though it was all set up for a conviction. It was all there. The government just dropped the case, remember? Oh, no, nothing funny was going on. Nobody followed up, even though new information is now out that shows political appointees within the DOJ conferred about the case in the days before the dismissal, exactly as we suspected when we reported on this at Fox. The White House denied any of this stuff happening. But it did. We now know it did. Is the media reporting on it? The media mocked Sarah Palin for her death panel's remark. They were all over me when I suggested that government health care would eventually lead to rationing of medicine. It had to. CNS today claims that 16 states have now set a limit on the number of prescription drugs they're going to cover for Medicaid patients. So in other words, they're rationing. On the flip side, what happens when you oppose the party line? Oh, well, here comes the 70,000 censors. Mitt Romney was absolutely mauled for the supposed gaffe. The media just took him like they were the polar bear over there, just mauled him to death. He's overseas in the UK. He made the oh-so-horrible statement that he found their preparations were a bit disconcerting. The press went into full Romney bash mode. Oh, he's ruined our relationship with England? Really? Watch.
He came here to look presidential, to remind voters of his own Olympics resume. Instead, delivering what some call an Olympic-sized gaffe. The British papers, Mitt Romney's disastrous day. One writer arguing his charm offensive, instead mildly offensive. The lead story on the news.
Mark, if he's here to make friends, he's got a funny way of showing it.
Exactly.
And just overnight, when Britain's Minister for the Olympics was asked whether Romney would help carry the torch at tonight's opening ceremonies.
Probably certainly not after today.
A day in which the mayor of London took on Romney in front of 60,000 people in Hyde Park.
There's a guy called Mitt Romney who wants to know whether we're ready. He wants to know whether we're ready. Are we ready? Are we ready? Yes, we are.
Yes, oh, and they are. Now that the games have started, Mitt Romney's concerns are beginning to look a little accurate. The stadium seats are packed. I mean, so many people are... Okay, well, don't look at that picture. Okay, I mean, there's teachers and kids out of school and military people that are being brought in to fill the gaping holes in the crowd. But okay, well, you got that picture too. But so far, no apologies have been offered to Romney. They're just going to leave America with the impression that he botched our relationship with the UK, an impression the media failed to convey when Obama shipped back the bust of Winston Churchill and gave the Queen an iPod and a DVD player that doesn't even work. But what would you expect from the media over here or over there, especially over there when you just had the opening ceremonies of full-fledged national health services, full-fledged propaganda spelling out NHS? I mean, we have a president and a media, and it's globally, that's headed towards lies, deception, and control. Terrorists penetrating the border? Who cares? But watch out for those radical Tea Partiers causing civil unrest soon.